So Call of Duty just released their Modern Warfare 3 gameplay trailer, even though it doesn't contain a whole lot of gameplay, but it does have quite a bit of settings for campaign, and it shows locations, it's a couple weapons, and I'll be breaking that down for you. So we start this trailer off in America, and this looks like what it could be the Manhattan skyline. Now, if you look to the left here, you can see F-18 fighter jets, and looks like Hind helicopters. Those are American. The skyline's pretty battered up, with buildings look like they've been hit by IEDs and RPGs, stuff like that. You can see downed warships, and it looks like a pretty big marine carrier on the left-hand side. In this little sequence here, you can see a Hind helicopter gunship floating over the street, and to the left, you can see a building with a huge American flag on it. That is the American Stock Exchange building, so that confirms this is in Manhattan. In this next sequence, we see a teammate handing you a magazine for what looks like an M4A1 carbine, and on his gun, looks like we've got a noob tube with iron sights, and on your gun, we appear to have a long-distance rifle sight and a grip. So I'm guessing those are weapon attachments, possibly for multiplayer as well. This next submarine part, it shows a missile launching submarine in American waters. Looks like off the coast of Manhattan. And this is a Russian submarine, or the Project 941. It's a Typhoon class. Not much more I know about it, but it is Russian, so we're probably going to either have to stop it or we're going to get hit by it. Here we have a street view of some overhead action with helicopters, and it looks like a missile that was probably launched from a submarine I just talked about hitting well, it doesn't show it, but it's probably hitting that building on the left. Moving on to the England part of the trailer, we have what look like British commandos moving into an area to stop a Russian-driven vehicle, likely either holding some kind of material or a person. And here you can see the new model of the MP5 that is going to be in Modern Warfare 3. And it is the exact same MP5 that was used in the leaked info on Kotaku a couple weeks back. This next sequence takes place in the London Underground, which is a very popular transit in London and some other parts of England. You can tell by the shape of the tram car, it is the exact same shape as what are used in the London Underground. Now, this part, it can go a couple ways. I have one theory that it could be like the no Russian level, where we're taking out big areas in these countries, or it could be there's an enemy on that train and we are British commandos taking it out. Moving on to the France part of the trailer, we start off with a long-distance view of the Eiffel Tower, possibly being hit by a missile with that black smoke. And if you look at the shoulder patch of this soldier right in front of you, it is American. So we're probably going to be operating as Americans in France in Modern Warfare 3. There's nothing really in this next sequence that leads me to say exactly where it is, but it looks like we once again have American soldiers right there, because you can see an M4A1 carbine. And this next area looks like a suburban battle between British and Russian forces. You can see a RPG come across the screen right there, but otherwise this looks like your typical suburban battle. Here we have a French police vehicle running from a helicopter, firing bullets down at it through what looks like a shopping center or mall-like thing. Now, whether that is actually driven by French police or it is taken over by Russian forces, I don't know. Moving on, we have some American soldiers injured and under fire in what looks like a square type area, probably still in London. And then we move into a building fight between more American soldiers and probably Russian troops. Here we have what appears to be a Humvee moving down a suburban street, either being attacked or defended, I can't really tell, by a chopper, hind, gunner, whatever you want to call it. Moving on to Germany, we have what looks like a Russian T-90 assault tank moving down the streets of probably Berlin. And then we have a rappel mission, probably breaking into a window about halfway down. And overhead here we can see a drone firing bullets, and right here you can see it take out probably the T-90 tank that was there before. And there's an overhead view of the drone. Right here, by the way, this building is falling. There was likely explosions set in its foundation, which is causing it to fall sideways instead of down in on itself. And you can see our guy getting pretty banged up right here, watching a car fly over his head.
It doesn't take the most powerful nations on Earth to create the next global conflict. Just the will of a single man.
I'm going to go over this part once more, explaining what you see in the background, since I just let you guys listen and read what Makarov was saying. Here we've got, outside the stock exchange building, some soldiers running inside. something probably happened inside, or you gotta run to a meeting or whatever. And here it looks like we're changing countries, moving to a suburban area in England. This could possibly be France or England. And here we've got a hostage situation. Can't really tell who's the hostage, whether it's the Russians or one of our factions. And then we move on to this one badass guy walking through the smoke, pretty banged up, it looks like. Probably some kind of explosion or EMP like in Modern Warfare 2 happened, and he's looking for his teammates or they're all dead or something like that. And Makarov finishes talking. Pretty eerie. Moving on to the final part of the trailer, we've got what looks like to be a first-person view. I don't know what we're hanging from, but it's of a likely friendly chopper crashing into a building that was probably in America by the looks of the chopper. And then we've got some likely American or Russian, I'm not sure, Navy moving into attack a land area. And then moving on here, we've got what looks to be a ship battle, because you can see the shipping containers, much like Wetwork. And then this guy right here in that suburban battle, and these two in this breach, they're both wielding UMPs, so that's obviously confirmed. And here we've got an underwater breach, much like Black Ops, but this looks like a flooded subway or underground street, because you can see the Brooklyn 1.5 mile sign. That looks to be pretty cool. Hopefully we can control our guys instead of just have them led like in Black Ops. And then the one thing I'm pretty sure everybody saw coming was the AC-130. This looks like we're attacking somewhere in Russia, I'm guessing, since the AC-130 is American, and I doubt we'd be attacking one of our own areas or ally countries. In this next snippet, we've got a group of soldiers running from a armored personnel carrier. It didn't look like a tank, but more of a specialist vehicle. And then we've got what looks exactly like the Black Ops chopper gunner in a inside the city chopper battle. And then after this little terminal scene, that's definitely an airport or an area with high security, we've got something reminiscent of the ending of Modern Warfare 2. This looks like, I'm going to go on a limb here and say that's Price in front of us, just because I want to and I hope he's in this game. But, and it's probably Soap driving the thing then. In this scene we are a passenger in a vehicle pushing another vehicle. Looks like the streets of a city that I can't really tell what it is from just looking at this part. But you can definitely see somebody else in the vehicle that we are pushing, because at the beginning of that one area right there you can see a hand kind of in the window. And then here we move back to Manhattan once more as we see a bunch of missiles being fired at the buildings, likely from the ships I talked about in the beginning of the video, before I move on to the ominous ending of this trailer. Dun dun dun! World War 3, aka Modern Warfare 3. And a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't matter besides the release date, November 11th, 2011, and Xbox logo. Pre-order now. Yeah, thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.